Welcome to Lifestyle Buzz Today with Orlando. Fresh, innovative, entertaining talk about topics we are all in one way or another involved with. And now here's your host, Orlando Burgos.
Well, hello there, fellow humans. Welcome to another edition of the Connection to Better Living, or what I like to say, the antidote to boring radio, in my opinion, okay? And I really think that radio shows are like the best vaccination to everyday society, aches and troubles. You know, all the stuff that goes on is very negative. You say to that, Mr. Mike?
Absolutely. It's the most intimate medium for a reason.
Yeah.
Yep.
There you go. Today I want to talk about taking chances. What is about taking chances that bothers people? So we're going to be discussing that. And that includes children, home ownership, and many things that are everyday that people concern themselves a little bit too much about and maybe fear taking a chance. What makes a house happy? We're going to be talking to that with my great guest also, because it's part of real estate. And today's pricing on food is going through the roof. And you know what? We have some great ideas because Mike and I are foodies, and I think my guest is also. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with leftovers that are like fantastic. I just made something the other day that is like, and I'm very proud of that. And then we're going to be talking a little bit about photography and the joy of capturing a moment that is key to everyday living, because you know what? There's something that you capture it now with the cameras, with the phones, it's even easier because all you have to do is just click and point. But I love the cameras. Oh my God, man, it's great. And there's a lot of stuff that can be said that later on when you watch those takes, oh man, just makes up the whole thing worthwhile. We got 2 minutes. My guest today is Mr. Realtor himself, Shawn Shai Halahmy. How do you pronounce your last name?
Halahmy.
Halahmy.
Very good. That's
okay,
better.
There you go. See, I always wonder, we've known each other for like ever, you know. So
Long time.
Long time. So, are you ready to talk real estate? And
always ready to talk real estate.
Yeah.
Happy to do so.
You've been at it for a long time.
Over 30 years now, yeah. I'm a real estate broker.
Mm-hmm. Hey, you know what? We're going to be opening up the second segment with more on this, but there's a lot of stuff that goes along. It's one of the scariest moments anybody can have is the purchase of a house.
True.
You know?
Can be.
But then again, if you're buying a car, it's the scariest moment because you have a huge debt also, you know. But there are moments when they're very defining. You know, you cannot just put them aside and ignore them. And, you know, you need to at one point say, I'm going to step in the water.
That's true.
And swim.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah. Why don't we take a little bit of a break, and then when we come back, more of fun. Take it away, my boy.
What are you going to do with your old car? You can try selling it, you could junk it, or you could donate it to Heritage for the Blind. Your car will be towed away for free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats. It doesn't matter if your vehicle runs or not. It will be towed away for free, and you'll be supporting those that need help. Heritage for the Blind is a nonprofit organization that helps the visually impaired live fuller lives. Call right now to donate your car, and as a special thank you for calling, you'll receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to many exciting locations. Call Heritage for the Blind right now. 1-800-785-9618. Donating is easy, and your vehicle is towed away for free. Plus, you'll get a free vacation voucher. Call now, 1-800-785-9618. That's 1-800-785-9618.
Well, welcome back. And you know what? Today, it seems to me that many people use too many excuses. I've been talking to, in this business, it's my job to actually be out there in the street talking to people and finding out what makes them click and what makes them tick, and, and try to make sense of what they're saying sometimes. And somehow I get the impression that many people are too involved in the skin pigmentation, the physical shape and dimensions of people, whether too tall, too short, whatever. And it shouldn't be like that. There's other things that people fear, and one of them is commitment. And my guest is one that knows all about that, because you're in the home business.
Yes.
Well, the house business, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. And the reason why I qualified the house business is because many people say, well, I want to sell my property, but I want to sell it myself. And you're selling your home, your dreams, your past, everything that goes along with it.
Yeah, it's very emotional.
It's an emotional thing.
It can be.
So you, on the other hand, show a property and you try to entice people to see their future inside that property and what they can create, right?
Yeah, if it meets their needs, we try to, obviously show properties that meets the criteria that people have. And they truly kind of fall in love with the property on their own. They see 4 or 5 houses, and one of them it answers basically every need or most of my needs. And I like to say that they just sell themselves on it. They become aware that that's the right place.
The first house that we bought as a family, a friend of mine told me about it, North Hollywood. We went to see it. And we're talking outside. We saw it. We went through it, the whole thing. And our 2 kids disappeared, So we're talking to the broker, and we're like, it's a nice corner house, the whole thing. But all of a sudden, we hear this commotion inside the house. No, it's mine. And then we're looking at each other. Then we see our daughters come out, and my little one goes, Cynthia took my bedroom.
They already picked bedrooms.
And I looked at the broker. Her name is Beverly. Sadly, she passed away she was suffering from cancer at the time. She told us all about it. And I said, I guess you have a deal somewhere here, because the kids already bought the house for us,
Right.
And it was true. We wangled a fantastic deal. And it seems to me that within an hour, we were homeowners. They took whatever the course of the escrow does, and whatever. But it was our house already. Right away we're like measuring curtains and
right. Then it's the right place.
But the fact is that we were ready to make a commitment. Okay, and our commitment was, this is going to be our little plot on earth to raise the family, the kids, the whole thing. People today don't think like that. It's more of a short-term thing.
For some people, it's become that way. In fact, the statistics are that especially in California, let's say, people move on an average of every 7 years. So for 7 years to be an average, you've got a bunch of people that are 2-3 years, and then a lot of people that are 20-30 years. Mm-hmm. But that's sort of the average. I think right now it's probably even a little less than 7 years, maybe.
Now the cycle of people look at a property and they go like, oh my God, we can make a couple $100,000 on this deal now because prices have gone up and this and that. But by the same token, when they get into a next house, they're probably going to be short a couple $100,000 anyway, so they're into deeper hawk.
Possibly, yeah. Definitely.
It's become a vicious cycle of home ownership. Is this a danger?
It can be. If you are taking financial risks that are bigger than you can manage, and the market starts to turn on you, a recession will come up or something, or something personal in your life, and now you can't really manage that mortgage, then that's a problem. The lenders have done a good job this time around where they don't let you spend, more than what they consider to be a maximum. So that keeps it a little bit at bay.
Yeah, I mean, it used to be at one point that if you could put a mirror under your nose and vapor showed up, you got approved,
2005 to 2008, those were really bad years, and we knew it was going to fall hard, and it did.
Now, let me ask you a question. Financing is a little stricter today.
Yes.
Down payments are higher, much higher.
Can be.
How are people? I see properties moving.
Yes, they're selling quickly.
So, I mean, are people able to come up with $80,000, $100,000 worth of down payment?
Yeah, 80, 100, 200. We have a lot of people. That's the bottom line. We have so many people. Take, my kind of general area here. 2 million people live in this area, but we only sell about 500, maybe 1,000 properties a month. So out of so many people who live in the area, yes, you're going to have a few hundred people every month that have that kind of money. Does the majority of the population have that kind of money? No. But there are enough people. In fact, we're still seeing multiple offers, 5, 10, even 20 offers on each property. So if 10 or 20 people want to buy it, then you know that it's desirable and they have the money.
Are you seeing an equal split or a majority of actual families that are buying these properties to actually live in as a residence? Or are you seeing a lot more speculation or people buying these properties to use as either investment, to flip, or as a rental property?
I would say mostly are families. There are still people buying to, if the property is old and dated and needs a lot of remodeling, then most likely it will go to a contractor, a flipper kind of a person. Then they're gonna put the time and effort into it, and then they will sell it for more, obviously.
And just real fast, what's the percentage of renters versus owners in California or nationwide?
I actually don't have that statistic in my head, but it's probably, in some cases, it can be close to 50-50. It just depends on the area. I mean, you've got Beverly Hills is going to be a lot less owners, and the more blue collar, more affordable zip codes are probably going to have more tenants than owners. So it just varies.
Are we almost ready to? Oh, okay. Do we see? We have just about a minute here. Like in the case of blue collars, it's doubtful that these people are going to come up with $100,000 unless it's a pool situation, like a family, large family.
There's still FHA financing, so you can get in with 3.5% down. So there are situations where you can get in with low down payment. So even on a $800,000 house, which you can still find, 5% is $40,000. So if you have $30,000, $40,000 with closing costs, you can still get in. It's challenging, but it's doable.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more with Shawn.
Experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain from a sports injury? If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
Do you want to fly somewhere, anywhere in the world? Smart travelers call myflightsearch.com for the best deals on flight tickets. Going to Manila, Bangkok, London, how about Singapore? Call myflightsearch.com for the lowest flight tickets available. What about a local vacation? Let's say you want to fly to Vegas, Orlando, Miami, Los Angeles, or Denver. Pick up the phone and call myflightsearch.com right now. We have exclusive deals that you can't find anywhere else. The only way you can get these low airline prices is by calling us. We have so many low prices available, we can't possibly tell them to you right here and now. If you're flying somewhere anytime in the next 6 months and you want the lowest airline ticket prices anywhere, you owe it to yourself to save a ton of money. So pick up your cell phone and call myflightsearch.com right now.
Call 800-445-3166. 800-445-3166. That's 800-445-3166. Call now. 800-445-3166.
Hi, this is Fred Dwyer talking about my favorite Italian restaurant, Angelo's and Vinci's at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in downtown Fullerton. A fantastic place to eat. Come inside and dine in our Italian town square, complete with a 10-foot Christmas tree. That's right, 10 feet. Enjoy our food made from secret family recipes. Pasta, chicken, seafood, salads, and our delicious pizza. Incredible desserts, including my favorite, the tiramisu, flown directly in from Italy. Feel the spirit at Angelo and Vinci's, 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022 or visit angelosandvincis.com. That's angelosandvincis.com.
All right, we are back. Thank you for tuning in to Lifestyle Buzz with your pal Orly at the mighty CRN Network. Shawn, it used to be that, well, people always had a reason to buy a house. And the reason was always because our family's just getting started, we have a child, we want to have two more, whatever. Are you finding now that most of the buyers are in the same situation, or are they, let's say, two-income people that want no children? They want to freedom?
No, it's always a blend of everybody. I mean, it's just, you have the families buying, you have the single people buying, you have people retiring and moving down to smaller places. You always have that. My advice is, you're right, there's always it's not the right time, we're not ready, but if you can afford to buy today something that works for you and your family, what you need, don't second guess the market, especially if it's going to be a long-term plan. If you're going to sell in a year or two, then you're taking a chance. But if you're going to plan on putting roots down there and staying, then, and you can afford it, you should buy it. I've seen people get priced out of the market because rates went up or prices went up or something changed, and now they just can't afford to get in anymore. So they had a window and I'm not, I don't know. Again, if you can afford it, the lender says you can afford it, and you can find something that works for you, you should, that's a good time to buy.
One other thing that I noticed is that it used to be that people picked the neighborhood that they were familiar with because they grew up near there, or they used to drive through there and they liked it and all of that. But neighborhoods were very stable. Okay. Today, it seems to me that here today, gone tomorrow, and people go to a neighborhood thinking that it's going to stay ideally the same But it changes really fast because
Yeah, again, with the average people staying in their homes for 5 or 7 years, on the average, people get relocated, they move out. You're right. There is turnover. Some neighborhoods more than others. Some neighborhoods just happen to be more stable. It's a really weird thing, but that's what happens.
I mean, do you say it used to be that one of the things that I learned in school for real estate was never try to tell people about the whoever lives in the neighborhood, the
demographics.
The demographics and stuff
Yeah,
like
we
that.
don't. You don't get into all that. No.
But by the same token, like people actually tell you this is what we're looking for, blah blah blah. I mean, how do you get away from not telling them it's changing? You if you're not in the business, you know a lot more.
Well, I just tell people to drive around the neighborhoods that they like to live in, talk to people, go knock on doors, see who your neighbors might be, and if you feel safe and you like that neighborhood, you should buy there. I mean, it's not up to me to decide what you think is okay for you.
Well, out here, especially in Los Angeles, we're not really concerned too much with neighborhoods that are falling into blight or disrepair. It's more about gentrification and prices going up, right?
Yes, prices keep going up. Gentrification's happening. It's been happening for a long time.
I mean, we saw this in the wake of the Super Bowl when they built SoFi Stadium in Inglewood, which has always kind of been a working class neighborhood. Now that's becoming highly gentrified as well.
Yes, absolutely. And there are some people who aren't happy about that. So
are they building another stadium in near the?
They are for the Clippers to play in.
Is that okay?
Yeah, the Hollywood Park, I believe.
Yes. I mean, isn't there where the Forum is at?
No, the
yes.
Forum is
it's across the street.
Across the street, yeah.
Yeah, and then they also built another small arena. It's called the YouTube Arena or something like that. So yeah, no, it's gentrification is an issue. We live in Southern California. It's a very desirable part of the world. It's just the weather. We pay for the weather, and
it's where the jobs are.
Oh, it's where jobs are because of the weather. And there are jobs everywhere. But yeah, I mean, these companies they like to be here, and as long as that stays and the weather's better than shoveling snow this time of year, it's a beautiful day here.
I mean, California in general, but the Southern California area is something that I've been living here since 1958, and I've always been amazed about the fact that during the wintertime, you can go to, Mount Baldy if it's still open. I don't know for skiing or what, but there's always Cracked Ridge, which is not too far. You ski all day in the morning. Then you go to the beach. It's nice and balmy, and you have a nice dinner at Gladstone's or whatever. Where else can you do that?
That's true. Southern California is some of the most expensive real estate in the country, so desirable.
All right, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, how to make your home happy. We'll be right back.
Is your bathroom looking old and worn out? Want to update it, but you don't know where to start? Then let BCI Bath & Shower show you how to turn that old bath into an aisle of beauty and functionality. Our residential bathroom solutions provide the best value on the market, and our customer service is second to none. Our cost-effective BCI Bath & Shower family of products has what you need.
Remodeling our bathroom was a big decision for us.
They didn't make a mess out of our house at all. And at the end of the day, we had a beautiful new bathroom. And it was a great experience the whole way through.
We have the best monthly payment programs in the industry, with payments as low as $68 per month or no interest, no payments for 18 months. That's right. Get the bathroom of your dreams now and pay for it in 2022. Call 1-800-455-7923 for a free, no-obligation price quote. That's 1-800-455-7923. When you want quality bathroom products at a great price, it's got to be BCI Bath & Shower. That's 1-800-455-7923.
These are the sounds of Colombo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club.
Look at this ribeye. Did you see that ribeye?
Fantastic. Incredible.
This is delicious.
Sausage and lentil soup, special today. Very, very good.
Look at this garlic bread. Best garlic bread I ever had.
And here's Vic Perino, owner and operator of Colombo's.
A lot of the Italian recipes are my uncle's own recipes. We have a lot of people coming back for his hand-rolled lasagna. We make it basically from scratch. I think ours is exceptional.
Here's Vic on what makes Colombo's different than any other Italian restaurant.
The other thing that sets us apart from other Italian restaurants is that we're an Italian steakhouse. We specialize in our steaks.
Plus, there's more.
We have entertainment 7 nights a week. So they're coming for a lot of reasons to value. Their value per dollar that they're getting, plus coming into a neighborhood-friendly place. Sometimes we're actually accused of being the melting pot of Eagle Rock.
Colombo's in Eagle Rock on Colorado Boulevard, 323-254-9138. Manja.
The smartest way for you to get the lowest prices on your plane tickets, domestic or international, is to call SmartFares first or last, but you've got to call us before you book your plane tickets. Fly anywhere in the world, fly anywhere in the U.S., and SmartFares can save you up to 75% on your plane tickets. We have the lowest airline ticket prices on over 500 airlines, and you've got a great 12-hour free cancellation window. Plus, with our live agent help, you can always get fast help and fast answers. So on your next trip, maybe today, maybe tomorrow, how about right now? Pick up your phone and call SmartFares, plus save up to 75% on your plane reservation. So call right now. 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644, 800-915-2644.
If Ernest Hemingway was alive today, would he say this to you?
Shakespeare, Mark Twain, Edgar Allan Poe, all great writers. And after reading your book, I simply must add you to the list.
Wait, you don't have a book yet. So make a free call to Page Publishing. Their expert staff can help you turn your book idea into a real book, a masterpiece that could someday make the bestseller list in hard copy and digitally all across the world. Page Publishing can help you completely take your idea for a book, write it, and publish it. So if you want to join the ranks of some of the most famous authors in the world, call now for a free information kit. Turn your book idea into publishing gold. Make a free call right now to Page Publishing.
800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. 800-378-3212. That's 800-378-3212.
Welcome back. From the standpoint of realty, this may not be exactly in your line, but by the same token, it is a selling point. Do you stage your properties?
Some of them, yeah. It's either staged professionally or with the items that the owner has, and I give my opinion. We either bring in someone, but yeah, the photos make a huge difference.
Okay. When people walk through a stage property and everything else, I think what you're trying to convey to them is look at the possibilities that you can have for this home.
Kind of. It's like less is more kind of concept.
Right. So actually, homes or houses do have personalities. I mean, not a living personality, but there is a comfort level as to how it flows.
Sure. Yeah, if you have a Spanish-style interior or a mid-century modern interior, it's a very different feeling of a house. Absolutely.
I know, but by the same token, the house needs to be made. How can I say it? It needs to get a soul from the
owner.
From the owner.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah, that's your stuff. Yes.
So, have you ever had a person that says, "Yeah, I want to sell my house because it's such a cold house"? I've heard that before when I was in the business. It's such a cold house, and we're tired of it. It's a cold house. Then you walk in there to see what the house is like, and they have, raunchy wall paintings, sagging drapes, and they didn't give the house that personality, that warmth.
To me, I've not had too much of that happen, but it's generally people want to sell because of different life events that happen.
Yeah.
Not because the house doesn't suit them anymore because they need a bigger or a smaller place.
I don't know why it is that maybe that's what confused me a lot about the business, because I was in it for, I don't know, 5-6 years or something like that. And I did well. I did very well. But I switched to commercial.
Oh.
Because I couldn't, the deal with the houses was I'm a lousy lister. I was a lousy lister. It was hard for me to go to people to say, this is the right time. You ought to sell your house, type of thing. I was not. I was a good salesman, but a bad lister.
Well, and again, it's my business. Pretty much all of it is now referral based. So my social sphere, my referrals, yes, people I know. And so it's all based on recommendation, word of mouth. It's like, you want to talk to this guy, he gives you great advice, he knows what he's doing, and he's trustworthy. Yeah. And that's where I come in and just say, look, whatever you need. You want to sell, here's the process. You want to buy, here's the process. And we go from there.
Do you have a lot of people that put their property up for sale, and then they realize that what's in the market is going to be harder to get into than staying? And they change
we
their
do
mind?
that ahead of time. We do all the research up front. So I don't just put your house up on the market without having a plan. So, okay, here's your house. You're going to sell it for about X. What are we doing next? Are you buying in the same neighborhood? Are you moving out of the country? Are you moving to a different state? Have you done the research to get you from point A to point B? If you're staying local, I'm going to help you buy. Mm-hmm. And then we figure it out. But if you can't make that move, if you can't buy what you want, then maybe you don't need to sell.
Right.
So
it's a lot of people selling here in California have sold and moved out of state.
Yes.
Is that affecting the other states too, because it changes the pricing up there?
Tremendously.
Yeah, because it used to be that you could see properties in Texas, properties in New Mexico, everywhere.
I was just about to say that people in Austin, Texas probably have something to say about that, right?
Yeah, it's everywhere. My classic example right now, because I know people who are there, Billings, Montana. And you could buy, a blue-collar family could buy a house for $250,000. And now it's $325,000, $350,000.
Yeah.
And so literally people who've lived there for generations, who don't want to leave, who just want a house, can't even afford to buy a house. So then their socioeconomic level gets punched down. So they have to go rent an apartment or move to a mobile home park or something like that because they can't afford on their blue-collar salary a $350,000, $380,000 house. And that's been driven up.
But, it's all over the place because I come from Costa Rica. It used to be that you could buy. I remember when my family bought a beach house years and years and years ago, it was like, I don't know, let's put a price on it, $100,000, let's say, for beachfront. Now it's $1 million something for half of what that property was.
And a couple months ago, Tel Aviv was named the most expensive city in the world, period.
Yeah.
Tel Aviv. So and that's driven up by basically the tech community. Mm-hmm. They have a huge presence there, lots of Facebook employees, Google, all sorts of tech employees, and they pay them very well.
That's so true. I have a lot of Israeli expats in my family, and a lot of times the highly skilled workers after they would receive their advanced degrees, they'd leave the country because that's where the higher salaries were. But now, because like you said, there's such a great economy, specifically with technology, they stay now.
They stay. Yeah.
All right.
Can I ask you real fast about the listing real fast? I heard this rumor. Because so many people nowadays, and I actually maybe in the next segment we can talk about this, how it's impacted your business, but so many people are finding houses now on like Redfin or on Zillow or something like that.
Yeah.
Is it true that some people, that when you say that they stage these photos, that they put in furniture that's 3/4 scale to make the property look bigger on the internet?
That I haven't heard.
Really?
Yet. That I haven't heard. Now I can tell you in person, builders, when they build their models, they actually put slightly smaller furniture. And builders don't put the doors on the door frames. they leave it all open because it creates better flow, larger space. But yeah, builders will put smaller furniture, live furniture. As far as staging, I haven't heard that yet.
In staging, what they do is like when they do a living room setting, they put the couch and the center table and the chair, but at different angles. So when they take the picture, it looks like it's where it belongs. But if you're there, it's all cockeyed, it's all over the place, you know. All right, let's take a little bit of a break. When we come back, more fun.
Have you heard about Vine to Bar chocolate? It's the winemaker's chocolate, the world's first chocolate made with well-vined Chardonnay marc from the beautiful coastal vineyards of North America. Gently pressed grapes are harvested after juicing, dried and finely milled and carefully blended into the finest dark chocolate. The Chardonnay marc contains highly beneficial grape nutrients, flavonols, and has a natural sweetness that flavors the luscious dark chocolate. Mouth-watering, flavorful, delectable dark chocolate goodness with Chardonnay sweetness and beneficial nutrients. And it's alcohol-free, too. It's Vine to Bar chocolate. Order some today at vinetobar.com. That's VINETOBAR.com. Cold shipped to your door, it's Vine to Bar. Vine to Bar chocolate. Visit us at vinetobar.com. You've heard me talk about MyPillow, and now Mike has done it again by introducing his new slippers. I love these. He's taken over 2 years to develop them. They're designed to wear indoor, outdoor, all day long. They're made with MyPillow foam and impact gel to help prevent fatigue. They're made with quality leather suede. Now, for a limited time, Mike's offering them 50% off on his new MyPillow slippers. 50% off. The My slippers are so comfortable. You'll want to get some for the whole family. I wear mine. I look like a movie actor, like Robert Davi or Fred Dreyer on a movie set. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the radio listener square, and use the promo code HORN. You'll also get deep discounts on all MyPillow products, including the Giza Dream bed sheets, the MyPillow mattress topper, the MyPillow towel sets, or you can call 800-889-6959 and use the promo code HORN. That's 800-889-6959. Use the promo code HORN, or go to MyPillow.com and use the promo code HORN.
For the best night's sleep in the whole wide world, visit MyPillow.com.
Alrighty, welcome back. We were talking about staging.
Yeah, that's a fun. It's a fun concept because, yeah, if you've done real estate for a long time, like me, 30 years ago, there were no photos, there was no anything. You'd pick up the sheets, you'd go look at a house, and that you saw what you saw. Now the first thing everybody does is on their phones they scroll through 30 photos and they see it all, and then they see it 10 times before they go to the house, and then they go to the house, and then they go home. What do they do when they get home? They keep going by the photos. So those photos get seared into their minds of that's the house, and that makes a huge difference. You need professional photos. I can always tell if somebody took photos with their phone. Even though the phones are great these days, it's still not as good as a professional photographer. And you need just to have things look that they're in place and not cluttered and clean lines. And that makes a big difference. I have seen properties put on the market a certain way, not sell, get staged properly, taken photos, and sell for the same or more money than they tried before, just by difference of a few weeks. So it's crucial. It really is.
The funny thing is that you stage a home and everything is in its place. All the items that are needed, it's uncluttered, it's really beautiful. And then you look at your wife and you go, honey, we're going from 1,200 square feet to 1,800 square feet. Then all the stuff arrives at the 1,800 square foot and nothing fits, man. is still in the garage all piled up because there's no room for anything.
Yeah.
So where did you keep all that in a 1,200 square foot home? It's
true.
It's weird. It's weird. But anyway, no, I do recommend for people to really think about it. It's a scary process, but it's not as difficult. It's you know what? I think from the very beginning, when you make up your mind that you're going to go from, let's say, $900 a month, dream, 900 to, let's say, 1,200. People used to go like, oh, it's an additional $300. But then you're there and you're making it happen.
Right.
And then everything settles. For the first couple of months, you're kind of like, wondering. I remember when I first bought our first home, I used to stay awake. I go like, how the heck did I do this? And then it's home. It just becomes home.
Right. If you can afford the payment on paper and you know that you didn't get yourself over your head, then you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And you're building equity. I mean, unlike renting,
Absolutely.
You're not just flushing that money down the toilet like I do every month. But when you're buying, every month, every time you write that check, it's your hand shakes, you're sweating from the brow, and you write that fat check. But know that this is going to pay off in the end. This is an investment.
If you're there long term, definitely you're building equity.
What about the trend now we've seen, pandemic wise and post pandemic, the idea of telecommuting? Because before, a lot of real estate was kind of dependent on the proximity to good paying jobs. But now we're seeing people can have good paying jobs in the white collar sector, being able to work from anywhere, really.
Right.
What's that doing to the market?
It's definitely changed it. It's created a situation where people move about the country, and especially when they come from places like LA, from expensive parts of the country, they can go to lesser priced areas, and they end up bidding each other out, and then they end up paying more, and so the prices go up in those areas, which in a way has hurt the local people there, because then they can't afford to buy the homes that they traditionally would have been able to buy. I don't know, that genie's out of the bottle. It's done. I mean, people move around. So it's just...
It has happened to people that I know, close to me, friends, that as a family, the kids got married and then they wanted to all live in a general community and whatnot. But where the parents were owning their home, the first son was able to buy a house, but the second one was shot out of the market completely. And so then the whole family moved to Vegas.
That happens too. I mean, kids, people in their 20s, 30s, even 40s after school and after getting their career, if they can't make that together or alone, $200,000 plus, in order to buy the kind of average median house, then they have to leave. They have to rent. Yeah. It's changed. Yeah, definitely.
Well, we have a couple of minutes left, and I think we're going to help people here save some money by not getting rid of those leftovers. Mikey,
I did this last night. I'm so excited to talk about this. I love cooking leftovers. I love making fusion of leftovers, and I did this last night, and it is as follows. I had Chinese food 2 days ago, and it had a lot of leftovers to take home, including some steamed rice, which had dried out because it's in the fridge. I had some various Asian greens, I believe some green beans and minced pork, and some various other Chinese food. And so what I did is I took that, and once you have that white rice, when it dries out, it's been in the fridge, it's perfect for making fried rice. Yeah. And so you put a little bit of oil in your wok, you just throw that rice in there with whatever leftover Chinese food you have, you crack a couple eggs in there, fry it up.
I mean, it is really great tasting stuff. I did the same thing a couple of nights before, where we had all kinds of meats. We had pork, we had beef, we have chicken, whatever. Chopped it all up, boom, 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 threw it in the wok, with some bell peppers, made some rice, put the rice in there, eggs, boom. And it was like the best tasting stuff. People could not put it away. 2 days we ate that stuff.
Yeah, just because it's been in your fridge for a couple days and it might be, kind of going around the bend, just throw it in there with some garlic, heat it up a lot, and you'll be fine.
There you go. So now we save you some money. Go out and buy a house. Damn it. We'll be right back.
Attention real estate investors. Do you need cash immediately? If you own one or multiple rental properties, you can use your equity to get cash out fast. The best part is we don't need tax returns or even a good credit score. At America's Loan Source, we are not a bank and we don't have bank rules. We make the decisions to loan you money, and there's no limit how much we can give you. Some clients have gotten as much as $500,000 or more within days. Use the money any way you want. If you own one rental property or 100 and COVID has left you in a cash crunch, we can help you turn your equity into fast cash. Call now for details and close in as little as 10 days and get the cash you need. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. 800-353-1760. That's 800-353-1760. Keep listening for a free offer from U.S. Med. If you're living with diabetes and using insulin, you know the pain of sticking your fingers over and over again. By simply wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you can reduce the pain of sticking your fingers right away. If you're testing your blood sugar daily and administering insulin 3 or more times per day, or using an insulin pump, call today and learn about the latest CGM technology. We'll send you a free ebook telling you all you need to know about CGMs. A CGM can immediately reduce pain. It's accurate, easy to use, and helps you make better diabetes treatment decisions. Your new CGM may be covered by Medicare or private insurance. Call now to learn more. 800-524-9313. 800-524-9313. That's 800-524-9313.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent corn-fed prime beef, broiled to perfection at 1,800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
All right. Really quick, we have like, what, 4.5 minutes? Something like that? Okay. Let's take 2 minutes and talk about ADUs.
Auxiliary dwelling units.
Yes.
Yes.
That has become the fashion, and yet, like we were talking during the break here with Mike, is that some people are for it and some people are against it. You?
Well, it has to, you have to realize both sides of what we need housing, right? So it creates another way to either have more family members living with you. You build a 600 or 700 square foot ADU, and an older person can live there, or your kid can live there, or something like that. And yes, it does create more housing within the same neighborhood. So one could say that then you have more density, more parking issues, more congestion. At the same time, population's increasing. It just is. And so you need more space. You need people have to have places to live in. So the government years ago in California said you can build one ADU. That was about 2017, I think.
Right.
And then a couple of years ago, I think around 2020, they actually changed it to where you can have 2 ADUs on a property. So you can have 3 legal units if you have enough space. There are rules as to who can do that. But what are you going to do when you're faced with housing shortages and trying to build affordable housing? There are pros and cons to all of it.
One of the things that I noticed, though, the concept of ADUs is like for, let's say, one person to go in. In reality, okay, there's small spaces they're not cheap at all.
No, it can cost to convert a garage about 400 square feet, to convert that legally to an ADU with all the permits and everything done the right way. It can cost about $100,000. But where can you buy something for $100,000? So, when you look at it that way, an ADU can be up to about 1,200 square feet. So that's going to cost you, let's say, $200,000 or $300,000 to build the whole thing. But again, where can you find something like that? Property values have gone up. You can refinance, take some cash out to help compensate.
Do ADUs help or hinder, let's say, the pricing of a home?
They increase the value of the property because your ultimate property is now bigger than it was before. So it will add to the value of the property.
But will it make it more sellable unless the people are looking for ADU?
Yeah, if there are people who can afford to pay it, basically it increases property values. So if there are people who can afford to pay it, yes, it's very desirable.
What about financing costs? Because if you have an ADU, you already have an income base there, and so would the finance company be like, well, he's already getting maybe $900,000 from a tenant?
They're not so eager to do that. They like to see history that you've done it before. You're a landlord, so they may or may not give you that value. But just because property values have gone up so much, you can refinance your house and maybe cash out $100,000 to create the ADU. So from that point of view, and the payment will go up about $400 a month.
Okay. Well, I think we're almost out of time here. So any information that you want to send us, please, lifestylebuzztoday@gmail.com. As you can see, Shawn, give us your contact information.
818-613-7355 is my phone number, direct number to me, and you can reach me on our brokerandtrust.com website as well, and have a little story of what it all stands for, is things you'll find out that you didn't know before.
There you are. Listen, we're running out of time. Michael, last words?
It's always nice to have experts on the show.
Thank you. Thank you. I'll come back next week.
Okay, see you next week.
Hey, be good to each other. Have a good time. Enjoy. Life is great. See you next week. God bless.